Hello and welcome to another video where I have a tall glass of water with me and another speed painting to watch, so let's get into it. This is another episode of This to That, number 2, where I take an inspired photo, here it is, and I make a piece out of it. And where did this train of thought come from? I don't know, but where it went, I have a very good clue of that. So, at first, I thought doing an original character would be, well, not original, maybe tiring at this point and not enough variation. So I thought about doing a landscape of a forest with a skeleton in the middle and the nature overtaking it. But then I thought that might be a bit too detailed for me at the moment. And I thought about witches. And eventually we ended up with a gothic spellcaster gardener. Something along those lines, where this person, they are a spellcaster and believe in witchcraft, and they sort of use a skull that ends up being a pot for a plant that they have. And yeah, that's basically how the train of thought went. And this one's a lot, the style is a lot more simplified. It's a cartoon, it's a comic strip or panel, comic page. And I wanted it to start from being very dark, and it seems very, not scary, suspicious? No. Dark and grim. And like she's trying to summon something out of the skull, to it just actually being her happy because now she has a pot for this plant that she really that she wanted to pot for a while. So that's where we went with it, and I sort of skipped the sketches. I think in the future I might do the sketch instead of this painting, and then just show you guys the rendered and final form of the sketch instead of going the whole hour 30 minutes, just the whole time it takes to actually record this, because it takes a while, and the videos would probably end up being like 45 minutes to an hour long, and that might be a bit too long for me to talk and for you to listen and watch. But yeah, this is where we went. I wanted to do some things, specifically like the skull cracking. I wanted to show the progression and make sure that the skull looks like they're the same skull, and by doing so I added that small little crack and the shape of it to match the opening that it does end up creating in the final panel. And I also made sure to keep the skull as the same as possible, as similar, as congruent as possible. And then same thing with her hair. I wanted it to look shorter in this frame that you see right now, and then it to look longer because as it floats, and on an angle, it's going to look shorter, but then when it's down, it'll be longer. We also tried different shading techniques by using a second layer and adjusting the hue of that layer, and then taking an eraser and just erasing parts that I wanted to be lighter. So that it worked very well for this type of style, the more simplified style with heavy shadings, and also is it cell shading? Maybe. But yeah, it just worked really well, and it was very quick, and it was very neat, and I had fun doing it and experimenting the different lines that you need and what you didn't need. But yeah, I had a fun time trying to think of a plan for this inspiration photo, which I should probably link below, and maybe we will do a speed painting in the future with focusing on this character herself, and maybe do it more epic, realistic, and really cool. So I look forward to that. That might be in the near future. Keep an eye open for that. But speaking of the future, I do hope to do a few sticker designs with the new branding of the channel. I sort of want to do some really epic and really cool stickers that isn't quite the normal standard cutesy stuff. And yeah, I have a few ideas of the stickers and what I want to do. I just have to actually put them in the digital world and draw them out and render them, which will be exciting. I look forward to doing that. Excuse me, I'm getting very burpy at this time. But yeah, I wanted the panels to start from darker to lightest, and I didn't really know how to format it to not spoil the ending, because if I kept it all on one page, then you could automatically see what's the conclusion. But if I do draw suspense, then, you know, surprise at the end. There isn't really a whole lot I could say about it, though. The train of thought was, like, I explained the train of thought to you, and I explained what I did. I don't really know how to explain what I did, actually. Because I'm not that experienced, and I sort of just let myself loose. But it's a good ranting period for me, for some odd reason. A lot of fits and giggles. A lot of experimentation too. Some panels I completely ditched that second layer of shadow and just went with a color picker and picked the different colors, and I try to keep the colors in the same family, but I also try to pick from other panels to do certain shadings and stuff, so then they all seem related to one another instead of not very uniformed and stuff. So I wanted them to look like they are from the same panel, from the same comic and stuff. And it's very odd for me to do a comic. I don't know. I guess I thought it would be cool, and especially since, it's like a skeleton skull, and then to do that with greenery coming out, and yeah. It was interesting. Perhaps people might have wanted me to use more of the skeleton and things like that, and to do the forest scenery or something along those lines. But I'm pretty happy with this one, because it went from, yeah, maybe we should do a scenery with just the skeleton laying down and being overtaken. And as epic as that will be, maybe in the future, I feel like I'm not quite there yet to do those things, and I do want to study a bit more on landscape and stuff before I start doing those really epic pieces that I keep seeing, and they're awesome, and I hope to reach that stage one day. But yeah, just working on fundamentals. But here, it's sort of just like, this is a style I think it'd be really cool for a comic. It's simplified, and that's what we ran with for this comic piece. It's a lot better than my other comic piece. I did this really stupid one back then, and it was just like a person with a unicorn, and there's two people talking, and then the one person's like, person one's like, what do you think of my cake? And then person two is like, oh, it smells like unicorn farts and rainbows. And then person one's like, how do you know what those smell like? So then the next panel's person two thinking back, and he's beside a unicorn named Steve, and he farts. And then person two is like, oh, Steve, how could you? And then that's why he knows what unicorn fart smells like. Oh man. I know, right? $1 million idea is right here. This is the content you guys signed up for. But yeah, also doing summoning circles, and I remember while I was doing the summoning circle, I was like, it'd be really crappy if this was a real summoning circle and I accidentally do summon something. I know that wouldn't happen, but I was like, that'd be very funny and also horrible at the same time. See, why make contracts with the devil if you are the devil yourself? Trust me, I'm a pretty wicked person at times, and I don't think I need something else to help that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this piece, and the lighting, and trying different things such as that new shading technique, and also the lighting, and trying to make things look like they glow and stuff like that. So it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it a whole lot in the process, and thinking, and it was crazy. But yeah, you can see, like, trying to make that look like it glows, especially with the circle and the hair, the lighting. Also, a really nice thing to do when you want glowing aspects, you choose a soft brush and you can lower the opacity just a bit, not a whole lot, and then you make a new layer and you do color dodge, and it really helps to make things look like they're glowing, which I enjoy. Sometimes it also helps to highlight pieces of a character if you're doing OCs and stuff, like the eyes or even like magic and stuff like that. So yeah, I learned that from, where did I learn that from? I think it was from Ross Draws. So yeah, he's pretty cool if you want to learn how to do character designs and things like that. But yeah, I'm thirsty now. My voice is gonna probably go because I've been doing, I tried to voice record one episode before this and it took like 4 tries or something, because these aren't scripted, but if they don't sound well, I just restart and scrap the whole thing, and I keep talking until it sounds nice and I like it. So yeah. It's exciting though. I'm quite excited for the future of this channel because I want to get into epic pieces. And sticker designs. I can't wait to design those stickers because I list ideas in my sketchbook and I'm like, that'd be a cool set to just group together. So then I probably will design like 3 or 4 pieces that sort of fits a theme of a type, and I'm excited to really get those speed drawn and done up. And although I'm not selling them, it'd be cool to just get the idea out there and to, you know, work on that type of style. It's not really a cutout style, but it's a simplified style, and I look forward to it. And maybe we'll transform them into epic pieces of their own, which will be pretty interesting. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if people want prints, but then I look at my work and, you know, self-deprecate myself because I'm like, maybe people will like prints of these, but then I'm also like, I don't know, where would I sell them, and if people do want prints of these, because they probably don't really want them. Artists' insecurities, I have them 100%. Sometimes I'm like, it's not bad, it could use some improvement, and I'm like, but it is better than what I started off with. So yep, I have my old sketchbooks to haunt me and remind me of how bad my art was in the beginning and where we've gotten to now. But yeah, we're fixing some tonal issues here. It's a lot easier to fix these issues when you do it digitally, but I do like traditional still, just getting my hand messy and stuff like that. And we have plans for traditional, so if I do decide to do sketchbook tours or things like that, you know, needing a camera in real life, I'll probably wear latex gloves. First off, my hands definitely aren't the best. Sometimes I stare at it and I'm like, how come my nails crooked, or how come my fingers aren't bent the right way? Like, it's not horrible, but I also just don't feel like putting them on display. So I sort of just want to wear latex gloves, and I absolutely love wearing fitted latex gloves that fits my hands because the large one are too big. I need like a small set of latex gloves. Like, my hands are small and so is my brain, technically speaking. But anyways, yeah, so I need small latex gloves and I absolutely love wearing them, just mostly because of the field that I was in. They wear latex gloves and I've just fallen in love with them because the school introduced it. So if you have an issue with latex gloves, then you could blame my school because they introduced me to fitted latex gloves for my small hands, and I just love wearing them. But yeah, if we do anything like sketchbook tours or even just drawing in real life type thing, get ready for some latex gloves. I hope for black ones, but right now I might just settle for the medical blue ones. But we'll see, we'll see. Anyways, you'll notice that the speed painting is also a lot slower than other ones. That's because it's like, I think, ×8 speed, so it is sped up at a slower pace than the usual, because it took me a shorter amount of time to do it, since I didn't include sketching, and for the most part I could just use the paint tool to do the base layers, and thank goodness, because my right wrist was hurting so much and I couldn't figure it out why. So I ended up using a mouse, and I was like, since I could do this with just a mouse, I could just click away and then fill in the base coat, and then shading will come back later when my wrist feels better. So yeah, that's what ended up happening, and it was my right wrist and it hurt so much and I couldn't figure out why. Unfortunately. But yeah, that's supposed to be a windowsill. Did I get this point across? I don't know, but it's supposed to be a windowsill. And just like to show it a bit more witchier and how much she likes plants and stuff, I stuck some items onto there. And I try to make it look like the light streaming in onto them. Onto those items. And it was a really neat type of shading too, more hatching instead of, you know, the gradients and stuff. So it was pretty fun. It was neat to experiment and try new things, and I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, I'm also noting that I don't have the new end card up, which I will change. So if it's the new one, that means I did end up changing it. But if it's the old one, I'm sorry. But yeah, so we went from this picture here to here's the first panel, first page. So it's sort of more suspenseful than before the other format. And then my favorite panel, bam. I absolutely love this panel so much. It's amazing. I'm in love with it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys showing up, and I will see you guys in the future. Bye.